things of that nature. So,
You looking good. You glowing and everything. You looking good.
I
swole.
appreciate it.
All right.
Oh, vegan everything. Beans and rice. That's all it takes. Some fruit.
Now I know that you're vegan, right?
Yeah. I've been
So-
going on 4 years.
4 years. And what made you? So did you start off just as a vegan, or did you start off like as a vegetarian and then you went to vegan?
Did you eat meat?
Yes.
Yo,
Yes, for 30 plus years of my life. And didn't really know what a vegan was 4 years ago, right? Since I've been in the health industry, a person came up to me and asked me the question about the vegan lifestyle as a trainer and what I would recommend. Because they were interested in transitioning and they were like, hey, I'm looking to become a vegan. I'm a little bit concerned with where I get my protein and this and that, and what do you recommend? And I'm looking at him, my eyes get all big. I'm like, vegan? I'm like,
Right.
Vegetarian? He was
Right.
like, nah, I mean, vegan. I was like, vegan? I was like, nah, I don't really know what that is. He was like, you a trainer, right? And I was like, yeah. He was like, you're supposed to know all that stuff, right?
Right.
And I was like, yeah, but I'm not too familiar with the vegan lifestyle, right?
Okay.
So I told him, I said, let me look into it. Let me do some research and I'll get back to you. And as I was doing my research, I was like, okay, let me try it out myself to see how I respond to this particular lifestyle change and, give my honest opinion. And, during the 30 days that I tried it, so many things started to kind of unlock within myself. Blockages started to open up. And I was like, wow, I came to a realization that food plays a bigger part internally than what we give credit to, right? So then, ever since that day, I never looked back. So I didn't really go to the vegetarian. I just hopped in it, just thinking it was going to be a 30-day trial, the vegan lifestyle, and 4 years down the line, I'm still at it.
Go ahead.
Oh, that really must have opened up some blockages.
Oh yeah, man. It was some things going on. It's a lot of things that we really hold in internally that we don't really talk about in our community, mentally and spiritually, and those things start to clear up for me and make more sense. And I was able to see something that I was never able to see and come to the core. Sometimes we put a Band-Aid on a broken leg, right? We kind of patch things, but we don't get to the root of it.
Right.
And things that I was going through, once I started changing my nutrition, allowed me to get to the root of things. And I was like, man, this is something I need to share with my community, because I know a lot of people are going through it, and nobody has got into the root. Like, even when we go to the doctors, what do most people suffer in our community? High blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, hypertension, all these things, right? Do they have cures for these things? No, they give us medicine, pharmaceuticals,
right.
Pushing pills, right?
That's all they do.
But why? Why don't they have cures for these things?
Right.
Because it's a multi-billion-dollar business. They're
That's
making money off of us.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Especially in our community.
in our community, they're pushing it. So it was like so many things and so many people that I came across that reversed their type 2 diabetes, overcame cancer, just transformations with weight, all different types of things. And all it was really looking at the nutrition and getting back to the root of things where our ancestors really didn't eat meat like that. They had to when it was time to survive and the crops didn't come in, but that wasn't the bulk of their diet like it is in modern day right now. So just a little bit of education for the community, and just planting seeds and allowing people to go on their own journey, because everybody is in their own space.
Right. Yep. So are you saying that if you cut out meat, you'll become more healthier?
Yes.
Why is that?
Why is that?
Yeah.
First of all, just the things that they're putting in the meat nowadays. People say, well, my grandparents and my great-grandparents ate meat for 80 plus years and they're okay. Well, first of all, the quality of the meat that they ate was a whole different kind of meat. It wasn't injected with all the hormones and everything that's going on right now.
Antibiotics
And everything, and the living conditions of the animals. These animals are in warehouses, packed in there
Right.
by the thousands, getting slaughtered. And knowing that they're getting slaughtered and all the hormones that are going through them that are releasing into their blood, into the meat, are affecting us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And secondly,
That's right.
it wasn't meat. Our grandparents did have meat consumption, but they weren't eating as much meat as we are now.
Right.
It's like breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack.
Right,
Everything's
right,
just
Mhm.
meat based, right? They
Yep.
might have had maybe one, maybe two meals with meat in it, but they were eating a lot of fruits, vegetables, grains, more than what we are doing. And especially with the processed food, we want everything right now.
Right.
We
and
get
not
what's
even
called-
not even just the processed food, but just the hot Cheetos. I work at 2 jobs, and these kids they eat hot Cheetos for breakfast and
Exactly.
and Rice Krispie treats for dinner. It's like y'all not getting no type of nutrition.
Exactly. They're not getting kind of minerals or vitamins that the body needs to really develop, and then they're getting labeled as what's that, ADD or ADHD,
Behavior problems.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
kids are starving.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
How am I going to sit down for hours at a time and I'm starving? You want me to sit still and pay attention this whole time?
Right.
All I had is a bag of Cheetos.
Exactly, or what's those, the honey buns and soda, grape soda or something like that.
Well,
I mean, they're pretty good.
Sugar addiction is real.
it is.
It's like
What-
crack
Right.
cocaine.
It is. Well, we're gonna allow people to get their soda and their water, hopefully some water,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna go into a quick
Spring
music
water.
spring water. And there you go. And then we're gonna go into a quick music break, and then we're gonna still chat it up with Mr. Cat Fitness. Let's go. Protect your health.
Eric, you're over it a little bit. He's gonna knock this song back a little bit, or
Okay.
is that
Yeah,
cool with
that's
you?
fine.
All right, I'll go. So you're probably gonna keep it about a minute and a half. All right, he said it's cool to knock this song.
Huh?
Man, got a tongue twisted today.
Okay, he's gonna
Or what he can do is he can just fade it at 1 minute and then just let it play
Underneath?
underneath.
Okay.
Alright, give me some views on mine.
Anybody saying anything we can respond to? Any questions?
I should ask some.
Yeah.
Okay, stand by.
Stand by.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is your boy, Dat Boy Media Productions, and I got Jason Coleman, Yard and Garden, and I got the homie Cat Fitness dropping some gems on health and what we can do in our community to prevent these type of diseases such as diabetes, cancer, etc. And I got like some little statistics that I wanted to kind of like share. I got this off of HHS.gov, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. And this is from, I believe, 2019, I believe. And it's probably a couple of years older. So these are just some older statistics that I've seen that I thought were kind of interesting. And pretty much it's saying that African American adults are 60% more likely than non-Hispanic white adults to have been diagnosed with diabetes by a physician. In 2016, non-Hispanic blacks were 3.5 times more likely to be diagnosed by the end of stage renal disease as compared to non-Hispanic whites. And also in 2017, African Americans were twice as likely as non-Hispanic whites to die from diabetes. So when you hear these type of statistics, Mr. Mario, what's going on in your mind with this?
Well, like I was saying before, when I started doing my research, it made me really think of where am I from,
Mhm.
right? That's a question I had to ask myself. Like, what do I know about self?
Mm-hmm.
And, looking at my dad, my grandparents, and, cousins and everybody,
Mm-hmm.
we're all suffering from the same thing, right? And what do we blame it on? Genetics.
Yeah.
Right? You're
Mhm.
like, oh, diabetes runs in the
In a
family.
family.
High
Mhm.
blood pressure runs in the family.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
But is that true though?
no,
No?
not so much. Not so much. It's a small percentage maybe,
Mm-hmm.
but not to the extent that we think it is.
Gotcha.
Right? Poor eating habits
Mhm.
definitely run in the family.
Mhm.
Lack of exercise runs in the family. But the genetic part where you're just gonna grow up and have type 2 diabetes, type 2 diabetes is actually can be reversible with nutrition, the proper nutrition and exercise versus type 1. Type
Gotcha.
1 is the one.
That's when you were born with, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So with that being said, it was like, wow, like, you know what the history of America is when it comes to our culture is from slavery, right? It's like, what were we doing prior to that?
Right.
And it was like, okay, we come from warm tropical places where, abundance of fruit and vegetables, where our ancestors were, that's what they were eating for the most part, like I was saying. And now some of us, depending on where our roots are from, some were coastal people where they might have had some fish or whatever the case may be. But not a lot of them were eating, like I said, a bulk of meat and things of that nature.
And the show would eat hot Cheetos for breakfast
Yeah.
either.
But you got to think of our counterpart, right? Where, lighter complected people come from colder places, right?
Yeah.
Facts, right?
Yep.
Where they don't have the vegetables, the fruits, and everything like we had. So they had to adapt to a more meat-based diet, right? And over years, their bodies, their genetics changed to that.
Yep.
So they can eat a little bit more meat than we can and not have the exact same kind of effects.
Got you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So I was like, wow. I was like, and when we go to any family gathering, what do we see?
Fried chicken,
Fried chicken,
macaroni
grits,
and cheese,
mac and
greens,
cornbread.
cornbread,
We know it's
all
gonna be
15 type of desserts that you can
Mhm.
choose from.
We
Some
know
homemade
it's
ice cream in there,
Yeah, we
some
know it's gonna be
pie,
at the gathering,
some
right?
Nation's cheesecake. You feel me?
And that's at everybody's household, right? It
Right.
doesn't vary too much,
Right.
right? But we take ownership of it. We're like, well, that's soul food. Well, nah, it's more so of a slave diet, right? If we think about it, because we were getting thrown the scraps, we weren't
Right.
allowed to get the proper nutrition at that time because, they wanted to keep us at a lower frequency.
Right.
They didn't want us to uprise and be
Yeah.
strong and be healthy. They wanted us to be the
Right.
working class.
Well, this speaks to me personally because I have a friend who was able to reverse his type 2 diabetes
That's beautiful.
through diet alone.
Yeah.
Only through diet.
Yeah.
He had it run in the family, that's what everybody kept saying. And once he started eating vegetables only,
Yeah.
and he completely reversed his diet, it also reversed his type 2 diabetes, and he no longer has it.
That's beautiful, man.
Cool.
And it's more stories that I want people to share like that. You know what I'm saying? Because so many people think it's like almost like a death sentence. Once I have it, I have to just live with it.
Right.
I just have to take the medication and deal with it, right?
Right.
In reality, if you change the diet and implement some kind of exercise, it's gonna go away.
Nice. Well, Mr. Cat Fitness, I thank you and appreciate you so much for dropping these gems on Do Rags and Conversations.
It's all good. I appreciate
Yeah.
you guys inviting me out,
Dropping-
man.
Thank you. Right, dropping some real gems. Hopefully,
Yeah.
some people out there listening. And so, before you leave, what's some of your social media contacts so people can get in contact with you?
Yeah, most definitely. You guys can find me on IG at CatFitness3, on Facebook at Cat Fitness, and I just launched my new website. It's www.catfitnesswellnesscenter.com.
Nice. All right, Mr. Fitness, thank you for so much for coming through. And we got one more guest coming on, which is Mr. Denzel, which is the creator of Create the Space. And we got another music break coming up, so don't go nowhere.
Thank you,
Do
Mr.
Rags and
Fitness.
Conversations.
Peace out. Boom.
You good? Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, let's get a picture.
All right.